Hi everyone, and welcome to the final workshop of the ICP Zero to Dapp Hackathon. Very exciting to see you all join. Today we are going to hear from Lukáš from Nostric, who will be sharing all about his hackathon success journey with you guys. As usual, please pop all your questions in the questions tab so that we can go through them. And I'm sure Lukáš will be happy to answer any questions that you have. If you have questions that are more generally about the hackathon as well, then feel free to ask those as well, and I'll be able to help out. Hi, Lukáš.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you, we can see you. All good.
Nice.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. It's been a crazy day, but it feels okay now.
You feel better now. That's good. That's good. Hopefully not too busy, and you're ready to kind of give your talk.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have much more to kind of say. I'm happy for you to start whenever you're ready. And yeah, like I said to everyone watching, please do pop any questions that you have in the chat or in the questions tab, and we'll go through those as well. So you're welcome to take the stage now, please.
Okay, thank you. So, hello everybody. My name is Lukáš. Give me a second. I'm going to share my screen. I prepared a little presentation. Basically, yeah, as Clara mentioned, I'm here to share my story in the BTC Olympics Hackathon with our project, and maybe give you some motivation or some moral support, you know, and some ideas maybe how you can make your project better to succeed in your next hackathon. So I have some slides, and basically a lot of the presentation is the same exact presentation that I presented for the judges in the BTC Olympics Hackathon. I was lazy to do a new presentation. I just added some slides, and I felt like it's gonna be fun to present to you and maybe to tell you how I was thinking about it. And yeah, you can later on decide like how you can present your own project. So basically, this is the agenda today. I'm gonna tell you about our story, about our project, and what is our next step. Yeah, so to start, this is why I'm here today. We basically succeeded in the BTC Olympics Hackathon. It happened a couple of months ago. I think it was in September last year. And yeah, there was like 5 categories from 5 different blockchains or 5 different platforms where you could build. And basically they chose the winner from each of those categories. And then they chose the overall winner across all of those platforms. And we happened to win the DFINITY category with our project, where we mainly participated. And then we were so fortunate to win also the overall category, the whole hackathon, and we received the main prize from Sora Ventures. So maybe here to give you a little insight, I think if you join a hackathon, you should maybe think a little like what is your main motivation. Some people are doing it for fun. Some people maybe want to win. And I think both of those are completely okay, but I think it's good to spend a second and think about like, why are you joining the hackathon? Because especially if you are a team of multiple people, maybe different people want to achieve different things. And there can be conflict in the hackathon because, you know, there is a lot of pressure and so on. So it's good to sit down and say, hey guys, do you want to just have some fun and build something crazy, or you want to really at least have a chance to win something? In my case, I believed in our idea, in our project, and in our team. So I felt like we have a chance to win. but in the end, it's a hackathon, you know, and you never know what the other teams are cooking, so you don't know what is your chance until the end. But I'm a little bit too competitive, so I joined the hackathon specifically that I wanted to at least, you know, place maybe the third place, maybe the second place, but at least to win something. I think it's completely okay to do it for fun, or, you know, if you want to win, but it's good to define what is your motivation. Yeah, as I'm adult, I think maybe a little bit more about how I spend my time. So I really wanted to join the hackathon only if there is a chance to succeed. So this is our team. Basically, I built the team specifically for this hackathon, and I knew that to build a good project, I need a very good front end or full stack developer. And as we build a multi-canister architecture, I also knew that I need a very good backend architect. So Martina is a very talented front end developer. And yeah, Victor is very good in Java software. So he helped a lot with the backend architecture and so on. My role was mainly project or product manager, but I also wrote some code as I had the deepest knowledge from Internet Computer Protocol. I knew some things that the other guys in the team didn't. So basically I was filling these blank spots. For example, I integrated the CKBTC payments and did a lot of front end and back end as well. So maybe to give you some insights here, I think it's good to think about responsibilities in the team. Even if you have maybe 3 front-end developers or you are 3 back-end developers, there is always somebody better at something. So it's good to talk about who is better at something and split your responsibilities in the project accordingly. So you don't spend a lot of time working on something together if you can split it and be more efficient. I'm gonna be presenting you our project, and before that I want to explain you the technology that we built on. And basically the core idea that we built on is Nostr protocol, and Nostr is a decentralized social media protocol. Basically, what it means is that anybody can join the network, anybody can build a client or a server, and the user can freely choose what kind of clients to use or what kind of servers to connect to. It's very favorite in Bitcoin community because it shares the same philosophy. It is similar to Bitcoin in a sense that you have your private keys and you can sign your messages with it, and so the others can verify if the content was created by you. However, this is only similar to Bitcoin until this point, and there are very big differences actually. For example, you don't have actually control over your content. So if you use some of those relay servers, you don't have a guarantee. You don't have a guarantee that your content will stay there forever. So that's why we decided to build Nostr client on the internet computer, because we felt like on the internet computer we can give the user the complete control over its data. So they can use Nostr protocol and use the internet computer protocol together and benefit from it, as I will explain later. What is ICP, guys? I think I don't need to explain this one because I think there is a lot of people from the ICP community. But it's interesting if you present ICP to people outside, how to effectively present it, because some of the people don't know about it. For some people, it's confusing, like what is actually ICP compared to other blockchains. To me, the most effective way how to present ICP was say that, hey, it's like a decentralized web services alternative to AWS. You can write smart contract that can communicate directly with Bitcoin and so on. So this was our situation. I was explaining ICP to the judges that maybe some of them didn't know about it. So that's how I explained it technology. For the Nostr protocol, we implemented some very basic features, such as that you can create your profile, publish posts, and so on. But this is not like the main functionality. I wouldn't join the hackathon just with this one, because this is like what every other Nostr client can do. So it wouldn't be innovative. And we just added this functionality just to present that, hey, it is possible to create some content on ICP and Nostr. But this was not like the core focus. And I think it's good for you to think about like what are the core features that you want to develop. What is like the killer feature that will be interesting the most to the judges, and what is maybe just some side feature that you don't need to spend so much time on, because it doesn't really matter like in the end how good it is. So this was like for us just as side features that we wanted to develop, just to present that, hey, you can do it, but it was not the core idea. So the first, like, let's say, innovation was private key encryption, and this is something that can be done on ICP using wet key technology. So we use wet keys to encrypt private keys, and we can store them securely in the backend of the application. And this is good for security, because private keys are secured, and also for user experience, because typically Nostr clients will just generate your private and public key, and they say, hey, you have to write it somewhere, maybe on the paper or somewhere else. And you as a user, if you are new to the application or to the Nostr protocol, you don't really want to like spend your time thinking, what should I do right now with my private keys? So this is disturbing for users, and we tried to solve it with wet keys. However, this feature is still in beta, and we are waiting for DFINITY to finally publish it. And it's good to mention that I think it's a good idea to use some tools that are new. It can be a little bit hard because there is not so much documentation and so on, but it's, you know, you can prove that you did some innovations in your project, that you used some very innovative technology that are just, you know, released a couple of days or weeks ago. I think it's a good idea to present it. Then we implemented something that we called Nostric Pro, which is like for small payments in CKBTC. The user can get its own canister, and when the user have its own canister, they can get like the, you know, data backups. All of the content that they publish will be stored forever in the smart contract, and they will always have access to it. Also, Nostr is not very good with serving images or some media files, and this is also a great idea to implement, because ICP can completely help with this one. And for example, with image server, we didn't really finish this one because we didn't have time in the end to do it. So basically, I just put it on the list as a next step. And in the user interface of the application, I wrote, hey, this is like a future, this is like a to-do, you know, like a feature that will be implemented later. And yeah, I think it's also a good idea to explain like what is what else you can do with the project, not just what you had a chance to finish in the limited time frame. So this is like very important to say in your presentation, like why is this important? Why you build this project? What kind of problem it solves? And as I mentioned before, Nostr has some problems with data control. Your data can basically disappear because those servers can get rid of old content. They can switch off because they don't have money to run it. They can just consider that your content is spam or censor it or whatever. So this is like the problem that the protocol has, and we could help it with ICP to solve this problem. So this is like very important to explain why you did it, what kind of problem you are solving. So this is like the feature summary, what we did in the project. And yeah, as I mentioned before, I think it's good to think about the features, like what is really innovative and what is just maybe what has been done before. And if it has been done before, I think it's good to think like, how can we make it better? How can we improve it? Because if there is no innovation, your chance to win the hackathon will be very little. So yeah, maybe I can jump into the new version of Nostric that we have today and show you around. Basically, we built the UI completely from scratch because, you know, in the hackathon, you have like limited time to do it and you can't do everything perfectly. And this is also another message to you that it's okay. It's completely okay to do something that is not perfect, because your product is not, you know, going to the market like after 3 weeks. It needs more time. It needs more care. And in the hackathon, you just need to do it in a way so you can present it and maybe explain like what kind of problems you solved. And yeah, it has to do something, you know. It can't be just, you know, pictures or some mock-ups of some app that doesn't exist, but it doesn't have to be like really perfect. And this is the Nostr application today. It's just running on my local host. It's not published yet. I think we could publish it in 2 weeks maybe for some beta users. And yeah, this is a simple UI. We have like some people to follow on the right side. So if you are new to our application, you can immediately follow some famous people from the Nostr community. And yeah, we can also upload images. As I mentioned before, now we have this feature finished. So you can manage your pictures, you can write a new post, and you have your pictures available here. So you can just copy the link and put it into your post, because this is how Nostr works. You can't just place the image directly to the post. You have to include the link. So we try to simplify it so you have all in one UI. You don't have to upload your picture, you know, somewhere else and then come here and include the link. So I think this is really cool, and it's all served from your own canister or smart contract storage. Yeah, so this is what we have. We are just finishing the UI and fixing some bugs. We have also the light mode, and we have some simple presentation page. So this is it. Let me come to the presentation. I might have some summary for you. Yeah, so key takeaways. Think about the idea. Let's try to solve some problem. You know, you don't have to solve like global economic or political problem or global hunger or something like that. If you can, that's awesome. But at least try to build something that is useful. You know, that solves some problems, or for you or for some other group of people. It is always a good idea to do. Then define your roadmap and milestones. Try to visualize what is it that you want to build, especially if you work in the group. It's good to put it on a paper, maybe draw some wireframes or something so you all understand like what is it in the end that you want to have, you know. Especially if you work with a team of people that is like diverse, you have people from different backgrounds, maybe even different cultures, maybe sometimes, or actually quite often it happens that people visualize the product or the project differently in their minds. So it's good to put it on a paper and sit on it, like what is it that we want to achieve, so it's clear for everybody in the team what is it that you are building. Yeah. Split your responsibilities, especially if the hackathon is like 4 weeks, you can split it maybe in 4 parts and put some milestones in the way. So you have the control over the project as the time goes by. If you get stuck, it's good to find out quickly, and maybe you can find another way how to get around it. Maybe you can find another solution. Maybe you can decide that this feature is not maybe so much important, so you can give it away and do something a little bit different, because it's good to find out like sooner than later. If you find out like 3 days before the submission, then it will be very hard to do something with it. But if you find out in the middle, maybe you can say you can react to it and say that we can do it differently. I noticed there was a lot of projects that were very, very, very talented people working on them, and especially maybe in another event I joined, the Motoko Bootcamp event, where I think I placed the second in the end, and there was a lot of programmers that were much better than me. Clearly, like it was so obvious that like all of those participants were better than me, better developers than me, and I was thinking about like what I'm doing here. I can't like do anything better than them. But I noticed that they spend a lot of time on things that were not like so important. Like they wanted to have the perfect algorithm or something like the nicest UI or the most secure authentication. And it doesn't really matter for the hackathon to have everything perfect, as I mentioned before. So you have to be agile and you have to think about everything. Like if this feature is not so important, it's going to take us more time than we expected, then like skip it, maybe do it in the end, but don't get stuck on not important things. Another good advice would be try to reuse what has been done before, because I noticed some projects, they tried to develop everything on their own. For example, some projects needed to use oracles, get some token prices from exchanges. And this is something that has been built before, and you can just reuse it. But some projects decided to do it from scratch, and I don't think that you should think about it that way, that it's bad to reuse. I think especially in blockchain environment or Web3 or smart contract environment, the main philosophy of everything is that we can build transparent services that can be shared for everybody and are transparent and fair for everybody. So I think it's actually good to present that, hey, I'm using this technology that has been developed by somebody else, and I'm using it to create something innovative that hasn't been done before. So you can save a lot of time if you reuse, and it can also help you to build actually a better project in the end. So maybe to give you some examples, I mentioned that we are building images storage in our Nostr client. So we need a scalable storage. And we decided to use CanDB, which is another project from ICP community. And I think they also won some hackathon prize with it 1 or 2 years ago. And yeah, they solved the problem for scalable storage. And yeah, we felt like it's a great idea to use it instead of building on our own, because we would just waste a lot of time. And in the end, probably with our resources, we wouldn't even build anything better. So this is one example. Another example could be UI libraries. For example, in the hackathon, during the hackathon, I used this Daisy UI library. Now we switched to Skeleton, that is like that fits a little bit more to our need, and it can also save you a lot of time, and you can build maybe even better user interface than if you are not experienced in building front end. If you are a good front end engineer, of course, you don't need this, and you can maybe build it better on your own. But if you are maybe more backend focused team, this can really help you to build great UIs very easily. And it's not like maybe the highest priority for your project, but it can increase your chance by a couple of % in the end to maybe place better in the ranking, because you have like more and better representation of your project. And yeah, and there is a lot of more. You can find website like this one when you can just look for finished pieces of websites. So, for example, you need some content sections. You need to present, I don't know what is here, like blog post or whatever. You can just go there, find your things, and you can just build your presentation page easily with this one. You can just copy the code and adjust it, and you've done. So I just want to say that during the hackathon you have limited time, limited resources, and it's good to use something that has been done before and that can save you time, because actually time is what you needed during the competition. Let me find the presentation. And yeah, the last point is, think about how you are going to present your project, because in the end you spend 1 month, a couple of people working on some project, maybe or probably you work in the evening, in the weekend, and it's very good to present it very well in the end, so your work or your time that you invested in it is actually very well presented or well spent. I noticed a lot of projects, they had a wonderful idea, they have very good team, but they got disqualified just because they submitted a presentation video without voiceover, or they didn't do a walkthrough through the application interface. So this was very unfortunate for them, and I noticed many projects got disqualified, or they just didn't get a lot of points in the end, only because they maybe they didn't feel like they are good at making videos. I'm very terrible at making videos of myself, but if you invest the time in it, a couple of hours, if you prepare your presentation or your voiceover, it's really worth it in the end, because it can help you. It can help you over the other projects. They don't do this. So yeah. I remember myself, I was very stressed in the end to present the project, because we had only like 3 or 4 minutes of the video that we could record, and it was very hard for me to fit so much information about what we were working on into it, and it was very stressful. But I think it really paid off in the end. So this is something that I encourage you to do. Try to spare a couple of hours, that the last day of the hackathon you sit down and you prepare your presentation and you explain very well what you build. So yeah, I think this was the last slide. Here is just some, if you are interested in the project, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm Lukáš Vožda. If you can follow the project directly, you can find Nostric app on Twitter, and I will share some news there, some updates, and yeah, I'm sharing a lot about ICP and what is going on in the community and in the projects in general. So yeah, follow us, and if you have some questions or anything, please ask. I will try to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that was really useful. If anyone has any questions, please pop them in the chat. But I think you did a really, really good job, Lukáš, at kind of going through the basic things that, you know, just make you succeed in a hackathon. I personally thought it was really, really helpful as well. Even though I'm not participating, helpful for me to bring these tips along when people ask me. So really great workshop for me as well. I have kind of wanted to ask as well, which I think everyone would be quite interested in hearing, Lukáš, what you think could be a cool project to build for this hackathon. So obviously now with both the VTC integration and the ETH integration are tracks, but also just one in general, you know, ICP track. What you think could be a cool thing to do? Anything from like a really simple beginner-friendly thing to something a bit more complicated, just to give people some inspiration for those who haven't yet figured out what they want to build.
Yeah, it's a good question. You know, if I had a good idea, I would be participating in the hackathon. so I don't think like I have some very good one, but you know, there is I think there is still a lot of space as the ICP ecosystem is very young. To me personally, like I would like to see some infrastructure projects because there is not so many of people working on them, and I think if ICP is about to become the crypto cloud, I think we need a lot of infrastructure and tools to actually build successful projects on. So I know this is very hard, probably, you know, it's very hard to give this advice to people because building infrastructure project is not easy, especially at the beginning, if you are just new to the ecosystem. But yeah, that's something that I would love to see. And if there is someone that is actually capable of building infrastructure projects, please do it. I think the judges will love it so much.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. And I think sometimes overlooked in a hackathon as well, because it seems a bit less like snazzy maybe, but it's actually some of the most useful projects. I agree. Someone has asked in the chat, what's your mental model for approaching novel technologies, for example, CK-ETH currently?
Mental model for what?
For approaching novel technologies.
Yeah, you know, this is a very, very difficult topic, very deep philosophical discussion can happen because I love innovations such as CK token, CK Bitcoin, CK ETH. Personally, I love it. I would like to use it every day, but the problem is that, you know, it's not so spread around other people or projects. So there is not so many places where you can use them, and I think it's great to find ways how to use these tokens. So you know, you will bring more people to it. So in the end, we can have like a big community using these tokens and a lot of applications integrating them and so on. So this is like the future we are looking into, and I hope there will be, you know, this future will be bright. But right now it's so early. Like the CK-ETH was just released a couple of weeks ago. I think it was in December. So I love it, and I hope we will see it at many places. And yeah, right now it's very early.
Yeah, awesome. I can see someone typing in the chat, so I kind of want to hold out to see whether that is another question. but yeah, in the meantime, I think that is everything. So I can see several people typing, so please hurry up typing so we can get to your question before we leave, everyone. Also, can you share a bit, just like a general thing that I was wondering, Lucas, what you think is one of the most beneficial things about being part of the ICP ecosystem specifically?
Beneficial for me, or for, what do you mean?
However you want to interpret it.
Yeah.
You can say either or. Is interesting.
Yeah, so my story about internet computer is that I have some background in data, and I've been working in marketing agency as a head of data, and basically we build a lot of solutions on Google Cloud, and we also are doing all sorts of stuff such as integrating Facebook Pixel or Google Analytics to websites. So I have like a lot of knowledge about how our data is collected on the traditional internet and how are they monetized, and also, as I mentioned, we are building solutions on the Google Cloud. So basically, when I saw DFINITY in 2021, they claimed that we are crypto cloud. And this immediately like got my attention because I had the experience with traditional clouds, and I felt like, okay, if they can build this, this can be really interesting. And I think there is some need for a decentralized web infrastructure, because there is a lot of problems in traditional internet that our data are taken away from us. We don't have ownership of our like Instagram images or profiles or identities or anything. And I think there is a need for this one. And that's basically why I am interested in the internet computer, where I see its values. And yeah, it became my hobby. I just spend every day a couple of hours learning about it and watching what is new in the ecosystem and so on. And yeah, I hope it will succeed, because I think it solves a lot of problem. It just needs some time to develop further. We need a lot more infrastructure projects, as I mentioned, and yeah, and hopefully we will see higher adoption rate than until now.
Yeah, cool. Okay, there is one question. Cosmos is wondering whether Nostr is open source.
Yeah. I don't know if the person asks about our project explicitly. Our project is open source. You can find it on GitHub. I mentioned the link in the last slide. And yeah, and also the Nostr protocol itself is going to be also open source. I didn't check, but it makes complete sense. So it's to be open source as Bitcoin.
Okay, I think that was all. Oh, another one just came through. Is there updated code for internet identity integration?
Integration?
I don't know what this is specifically referring to. So yeah, maybe Damali, if you want to DM me on Discord, I can try and look into this for you.
Yeah.
I'll send my Discord handle in the chat. Okay, cool. I think that is everything. I wanted to thank all of you for joining, everyone who's watching, and of course, Lucas, thank you so much for joining us and kind of answering the questions, sharing a bit about your background and your project. It was, like I said before, really helpful and insightful.
Yeah.
Do you have any final kind of words of encouragement before we sign off?
Oh yeah, I didn't prepare anything, but yeah, guys, I wish you a good luck. I think joining a hackathon is a very good experience. Even if you don't win in the end, you will still learn a lot of things. You will work together with interesting people, and maybe it can take you to a place that you was not thinking about like 1 month ago at all. So there is many ways how to be successful in the hackathon. Winning the prize is not the only one. Yeah, there are other benefits that you can win. So good luck, and I'm looking forward to see your projects and what you build.
Yeah, thank you. See you all later, guys, and thank you once again, Lukáš. Have a good rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, have a nice day. Bye bye.